Hey, Leap Inspire family. Buckle up for a story that'll grip your heart and keep you glued till the end. A tale where a simple house cleaner shakes up a billionaire's mansion with a single, daring choice. Picture this: a woman risking it all, a baby's laugh cracking open a frozen world, and a gesture so human it'll leave you stunned. Don't miss a second of this journey. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and let's dive into a story that proves the smallest hearts can change the biggest homes. Gabrielle woke to the scent of rain-soaked streets, the kind that clings to cracked pavement in her working-class neighborhood. Her tiny apartment smelled of cheap soap from scrubbing the floors late into the night. Life hadn't let up since her partner's death in a motorcycle crash, leaving her with unpaid bills, a landlord's warnings, and an 11-month-old daughter, Helena, to raise alone. That morning, she faced a gut-wrenching dilemma. No one could watch Helena. The neighbor was gone. The daycare shuttered. Missing work wasn't an option, not with the mansion's butler demanding perfection. So, Gabrielle dressed Helena in a bright red dress, a church friend's gift, tied a bow in her curls, and boarded the rattling city bus. Helena giggled, oblivious to the fear knotting her mother's chest. "It'll be okay, my love," Gabrielle whispered, stroking her daughter's cheek as if apologizing for the gamble. The Stanton estate loomed like a different planet, glass and marble gleaming, gardens flawless, security in sharp suits. On one side of the gate, peeling paint and barefoot kids. On the other, a palace of wealth. Gabrielle slipped through the service entrance, heart pounding, praying the blanket-wrapped bundle in her arms wouldn't draw eyes. In the kitchen, she set Helena on the floor with a pot lid to play with. The baby's laughter echoed, pure and bright, as Gabrielle gripped her bucket and rag, the familiar sting of cleaning products filling the air. She didn't know Victor Stanton, the billionaire owner, had canceled his meetings that day. Loneliness had worn him down, a man surrounded by staff and flattery, but unseen behind his icy facade, hardened since his wife's death years ago. He stepped into the living room unannounced and froze. There, on the marble floor, Helena's red dress glowed like a flower, her giggles chasing a makeshift toy. Gabrielle waved to keep her quiet, unaware of the man watching. For Victor, the world of contracts and power vanished, replaced by a sound his mansion hadn't heard in years. Gabrielle turned and saw him, her face paling. "Sir, I'm so sorry," she stammered, hands shaking. "I had no one to leave her with. It won't happen again." She braced for his wrath, knowing his reputation for zero tolerance. But instead of a shout, Victor shed his tailored jacket, draped it over a chair, and knelt beside Helena. His cold eyes warmed. "Hello, little princess," he said, shaking a wooden toy with a shy smile. "May I play too?" Helena squealed, reaching for him. Gabrielle's breath caught, watching the feared billionaire laugh, a rusty, real sound. A tear slipped down her cheek. She wiped it fast, but he saw. "What's her name?" he asked. "Helena," she whispered. "Helena," he echoed, savoring it. A strong name. The baby clapped, and for a moment, Victor forgot his grief, his walls, his empire. He felt human. Subscribe now to keep up with this heartwarming story. Let's see where this unexpected connection leads. Timidly, Gabrielle asked, "You're not firing me?" Victor's gaze held firmness and kindness. "You made a mistake, bringing her without permission. But if that mistake brought this laughter here, it's the best one I've seen." Her heart raced, relief mixed with uncertainty. Was this leniency a fleeting kindness? "Keep working," Victor said, standing. "I'll watch her for a bit." Gabrielle blinked. "You'll watch her?" He nodded, a new light in his eyes. "It's been too long since I sat with someone who matters." He knelt again, Helena clapping as if she'd known him forever. From the kitchen doorway, Gabrielle watched, torn between awe and fear. Victor's reputation was iron, distant, unrelenting since his wife's passing. Yet here he was, gentle with her daughter, steadying Helena when she wobbled toward him. The scent of baby powder stirred memories he'd buried, of moments he'd avoided. "Tiny hands," he murmured to Helena, "but so much power." She grabbed his finger, giggling, and he led her, unaware of Claire, the house manager, peering from the staircase, tray trembling at the sight. Claire retreated, unsure whether to speak or stay silent. The news spread anyway. Whispers from the cook to the gardener, staff calling it tenderness or weakness. Gabrielle felt the shift, eyes following her as she worked. Upstairs, Claire warned her about Bianca, Victor's image-conscious fiancée, whose polished presence loomed like a storm. "Be careful," Claire said. "If she finds out, trouble's coming." Gabrielle nodded, clutching Helena tighter. That afternoon, Victor stepped away for a call, and Gabrielle moved Helena to the kitchen, rocking her as sunlight spilled over the baby's calm face. She sang a soft lullaby, unaware Victor had returned. "You sing beautifully," he said, startling her. "This house hasn't heard music in years." Their eyes met, a fragile connection forming. Not boss and worker, but two people seeing each other's hidden scars. Helena stirred, tugging her mother's hair, and Victor smiled, the ice in him cracking. "Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We're just getting to the part where everything changes." Evening fell, casting a golden glow through the mansion's windows. Gabrielle's day, begun in fear, had turned miraculous, Helena's laughter softening the hardest man she knew. But danger lingered. Bianca arrived, heels clicking like a warning. In the kitchen, she spotted Helena asleep in a blanket crib. "What's this?" she said, voice sharp. "She's my daughter," Gabrielle admitted, bracing. "I had no one today." Bianca's eyes narrowed. "Employees who blur lines don't last here." She left, her threat hanging like smoke. At dinner, Bianca confronted Victor. "Rumors say you were playing with a cleaner's child. It doesn't look good." Victor's fork paused. "Maybe my image needs to change." Bianca's smile tightened, her mind already plotting. The next day, whispers grew, staff judging Gabrielle, some with pity, others with scorn. Victor found her in the garden. "Ignore them," he said. "You did what you had to for Helena. That's courage." His words steadied her, but Bianca's influence spread, turning the mansion's air toxic. The tension broke when Bianca called a staff meeting, her voice cutting through the hall. "This house needs order. Children don't belong here." She pointed at Gabrielle, whose trembling arms held a crying Helena. "Even the child knows she shouldn't be here." Victor stood, his voice calm but unyielding. "Enough, Bianca. This is my home, and Helena has as much right here as anyone." The room froze. Gabrielle slipped out, legs weak, as Claire squeezed her hand. "You've got an ally worth more than us all." That night, Victor retreated to his office, wrestling with memories of his late wife, stirred by Helena's laugh. Meanwhile, Gabrielle found a tin of recipes in the kitchen, written by Elise, Victor's lost love. She baked a cinnamon cake from its pages, the scent filling the air as Victor appeared. "I smelled Elise," he said, touching the notebook tenderly. They shared coffee and cake, the kitchen shrinking the distance between them. Hit that subscribe button to follow this emotional journey. Will this newfound warmth survive the storm? Days later, a crisis hit. A family ring vanished from Victor's safe. Bianca seized the moment, accusing Gabrielle publicly. "Who else needs the money?" she said, as staff eyes pinned Gabrielle. "I swear I didn't," Gabrielle whispered, Helena crying in her arms. Victor intervened. "No searches, no humiliation without proof." The ring was found in the garden, likely dropped by Bianca herself. Victor confronted her coldly. "You accused an innocent woman. That doesn't vanish." Bianca left, her power slipping. That night, Gabrielle baked again, Helena playing nearby. Victor joined them, saying, "You don't need to defend yourself anymore." She smiled, Helena clapped, and the mansion's silence felt alive. But Bianca wasn't done. She plotted in the shadows, her influence lingering like a chill. The house began to change. Victor announced a nap room for staff children, a rug-lined space with a crib and ribbon mobile. Helena tested it, reaching for a blue shape. Staff donated toys. The gardener brought lavender. One evening, Victor invited Gabrielle, Helena, and the staff for a simple dinner. Soup, rice cake. The kitchen hummed with life. Bianca arrived, offended by the informality. Someone's manipulating him, she snapped. Claire stayed silent, protecting Gabrielle. Days later, Bianca tried again, confronting Gabrielle. You don't belong here. But the ring incident had shifted loyalties. Victor stood firm, his heart opening. At Helena's first birthday, the nap room glowed with paper balloons and an orange cake. Victor opened Elisa's notebook, then a box with a simple ring for Gabrielle and a pendant for Helena. Will you stay? He asked. Not out of pity, but as family. Gabrielle's eyes shone. I've been staying since you knelt for my daughter. She took the ring. Helena wore the pendant. The kitchen erupted in claps, a guitar strummed, and they danced, the mansion alive with honest joy. Subscribe now to catch every moment of this heart-melting finale. Night settled, and Gabrielle sat on the kitchen step, barefoot, Victor beside her with chamomile tea. Helena slept, murmuring pie, her first try at a word. They laughed, tears falling, as the kitchen held them, a sanctuary of recipes, lavender, and new promises. Victor posted a statement online. Helena and Gabrielle brought life to my home. We've opened a space for workers' children because people have names, and a good house makes room for them. Comments poured in, some critical, many moved. At a board meeting, Victor announced a company daycare pilot, unshaken by Bianca's objections. He ended their engagement, choosing a life that felt real. The mansion, once cold, now smelled of bread and hope. A leaked photo of Victor with Helena sparked chatter, but he let it stand, proud of the man he was becoming. Gabrielle and Helena became his family, built not on wealth, but on courage and love. The end. Leap Inspire family. Wasn't that incredible? A cleaner, a baby, and a billionaire proving love can rebuild what lost broke. If this story touched you, smash that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe with notifications on for more stories that hit right in the feels. Let's keep this family growing. See you in the next one.